Hey everybody, it's Donna Sylvester in Denver, Colorado on a beautiful fall Sunday afternoon. I have my patio door open and it's quite windy and I can hear the leaves tinkling to the ground. It's quite cool. Might have to put on a sweatshirt later today. So anyway, beautiful afternoon. And what I want to talk to you about today is some ways to get 3 to 5 cards a day done in just 30 minutes. And in order to do that, you need to be very efficient about that process. Here's the goal. If you send 3 to 5 cards a day over a year, your business is going to grow. Your phone is going to ring. You're going to get new business from people that you've worked with in the past, and you're going to get referrals. However, those cards need to be meaningful. So what I want to do is I've got 10 of them written down. So I'm going to give you 10 tips for how to make that process efficient. Number one is set the intention. What is your intention around sending cards? If you say to yourself, well, I'll do as many as I can, or I'll see how many I get done, you won't do many cards. So I want you to set a clear intention, even if it's small. It might be one a day. It might be to send a card to everyone in your database who has a birthday. It could be a number of different things, but set an intention and stick to it. For example, my intention in October is to do all of my birthdays as heartfelt cards. And I'm really cranking on that. I have 62 October birthdays, so I'm moving right along. Number 2 tip, have your own routines. And those routines might be, when do you send a card? Do you do it first thing in the morning while you're having coffee? Do you set an appointment with yourself for maybe 30 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays? How do you do that? The other part of routines is knowing what your favorite cards are, which fonts you love to use, the layouts that you like to use, and the colors that you use. When you have a pattern of those different kinds of things, you'll get more cards done in a fast amount of time. Number 3 tip, be mobile. That is huge for me. I would say 80% or more of the cards I send from my iPhone and my iPad. And I do that for several reasons. One is it's easier access to the pictures in my photo gallery and in Facebook. I can just directly access the Facebook pictures, save them into my photo gallery, as opposed to the computer where I have to find the picture, save it into my computer, and then when I get ready to send the card, I have to go find it in my computer. It's just so much easier on the phone. The other thing that makes the app easier for me is voice dictation. It makes the card so much faster, and for me, it makes it more natural because I speak better than I type. So consider using the mobile app and learning to use voice dictation if you don't already. Number 4 tip, have photos ready to go. So a couple of times a day, I scroll through Facebook looking for pictures of people doing things they're excited about. And I save those pictures into my photo gallery. And then later, when I have 10 or 15 minutes, I go to my photo gallery and say, oh yeah, I wanted to send a picture to this person. I don't just look for pictures. I look for cartoons. I look for quotes. So Facebook is such an amazing source of content for your cards. Number 5, jot down the names of people who come to your attention. This is where your promptings come into play. A prompting is your inner voice telling you that someone needs to hear from you. When you wake up with someone on your mind, that's prompting. When you're going through your day and someone comes to your attention, that's prompting. Or maybe you're having a conversation with someone and they let you know they're having a tough time. Jot that name down. So I have an index card at my desk where I jot names down, and I have a note in my phone. So if I'm out and about and someone comes to my attention, I jot their name down. Number 6, have some concept cards that you use over and over again. So an example of that might be, thank you for the referral, an invitation to do a Zoom coffee or one-on-one, a card ready to go for when you have a missed call. Maybe you have a practice of making prospecting calls and you miss someone a couple times. Well, the next time you miss them, send them a card to say, I'm sorry I missed you. I would love to talk to you. And lastly, you might have a concept card ready to go that says, I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you're in a network marketing company where people place orders every month, and maybe there's someone who hasn't placed an order in several months, and you want to send them a note to say, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. If you have some of those cards ready to go in your custom cards section, very easy to pull it up, change the note on the inside and send it out. And if you don't know what I mean about that, shoot me a text, 303-618-3455, and I'll show you how to do that. Number 7, think very broadly about who you send cards to. I regularly have people tell me, I don't have but 10 or 20 customers to send cards to. Oh my gosh, if you don't have but 10 or 20 customers, you really need to be sending cards. You want to send cards to anybody that needs to know what you do. And so for most of us, that's everybody. So send cards to your social sphere, the people you go to church with, the people you play golf with, the parents of the kids that your kids go to school with, the coaches that coach them in the after school activities. You need to be sending cards to everyone to say, congratulations, I miss you, I appreciate you. I was thinking just yesterday about how do we bring value to people? And there's a variety of ways that we bring value to people. 3 that are really important are recognition, acknowledgement, and appreciation. And you can do all of those 3 things with a great greeting card. So think very broadly about who you send cards to. Number 8, birthdays, birthdays, birthdays. They say that birthdays are the most underused, inexpensive, meaningful marketing touch that you can do. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. One is if you're on Facebook, every day Facebook tells you whose birthday's coming up that day. So if they're not somebody who's already in your database, get their address and send them a card. How do you get their address? You can just ask them, send them a Facebook message and say, I'd like to send you a birthday card. What's your mailing address? And then you have it for next year. Or there's a great website, www.fastpeoplesearch.com, that is free, and I find so many addresses there. So if you know the city that someone lives in, you can look their address up by their city or by their phone number. If you happen to have their cell phone number, you can look it up by phone. So the other way I get birthdays is I go to my SendOutCards account. Under my account, on the top left, you'll see notifications. And in notifications are the upcoming birthdays and anniversaries that you have in your SendOutCards database. So every day I look at those notifications and I send cards to people whose birthdays or anniversaries are coming up. And I go on Facebook because that's a way that I find people who are not already in my system. Number 9, use flat cards. I use flat cards a lot. Now, the downside to a flat card, if it's going to somebody who doesn't know you well, is you don't have the business branding on the back. The upside is it's really quick, and it gives people an easy way for you to frame the card that you send them. So if you send them a picture of Facebook of something really meaningful, it's not at all unusual to have somebody call me and say, I'm going to frame the card that you sent me. And so using a flat card makes it really easy for them to do that. So on a flat card, I put a picture on the front, I voice dictate a quick message on the back. Picture on the front, quick message on the back. I can easily send 5 or 6 flat cards in 30 minutes. And those are meaningful cards to people. Number 10, here might be the biggest clue of all. That is, and this is a saying I came up with, make these cards a work of heart and not a work of art. If you're spending an hour or an hour and a half creating these gorgeous custom cards for people, you're not going to send very many cards. And the most important card you can send is the card that gets sent. So your message, your sentiment in sending that card is far more important than having a beautiful art project. So that would be my suggestion for you, is to make these cards quick. Now, what I want to do is share my screen and show you very quickly how fast it is for me to send a card from my phone. So I'm going to share my screen here. And then I'm going to pull up my phone. So right here, you're looking at my iPhone. And I'm going to go to SendOutCards. Here's the app. And because, as I said, most of my cards have a picture on the front, I'm going to tap Build Your Own. I know I have a vertical picture, so I tap the vertical layout. I'm going to do this as a flat card. Tap Flat Card, Create. I'm going to go get the picture I want to use. I go to my photo gallery, and I've picked this picture right here. This is my networking buddy, Dwight Getting's son, Cole, who just got his black belt. I'm going to save that picture, go to the back panel, and I'm going to voice dictate a message to Cole. So I hit the microphone, and here we go. Congratulations on earning your black belt, comma, Cole. New line. I liked your video on understanding the meaning of the achievement. Exclamation point. New line. You are a very special young man who is going to make a difference in the world. Period. New line. I'm going to go grab my signature. Now here's where routines come in. I know that my signature is too big, so every time I do it, I select, I go to the double T, and I shrink it. I know that I'm going to use the pencil font because it lets me get a lot of words in. There's my message, save. That's what it looks like on the back of the card. I just double check that. I'm going to say send. Add contacts, select. Cole. Cole Getting, there he is. Done, done, continue. This is my favorite screen, free, free, free. I'm on the $97 account, so I can send as many cards as I want to every month, just like this. I'm going to say submit. I think I've sent about 90 cards already this month, and we're only on October the 11th. So 11 days into the month, and I've sent around 90 cards. I got 19 more days to go. So $97, if I send 200 cards this month for $97, that's going to be about 50 cents a card. You cannot beat that deal. So, and you saw that that was a very fast card. And the reason it is fast is I already had the picture from Facebook. Dwight is my networking buddy, and I already know that I want to congratulate Cole. I used a flat card, so I don't have to worry about the back panel. Dwight already knows me, knows what I do. I already know the font that I'm going to use. I already know how to handle my signature. It's just fast. So get those things down for yourself, and you too will be able to easily send 3 to 5 cards in 30 minutes a day. And if you do that, your business will grow. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me a text, 303-618-3455. Bye-bye now.